Hello and welcome to Frank's School, 123rd day of this third year. I'm still going on with a gloss, my explanation of Edmund Burke's The Day the Universe Changed. Now I'm in episode 5, Infinitely Reasonable, second half. He's dealing with astronomy, gravity, the theory of gravity, and he refers to the scientific revolution. Reasonable, the age of reason. Well, I said that before. The names he's going to deal with, these are real famous names: Galileo, Newton, Kepler, Descartes. Boscovich, I'm not sure if I have this spelled right or not. Not as famous as those other four. And he's going to go to places. He'll be in Venice. He goes to Austria because of the measuring of wine barrels. England because of Newton and his experiments, Amsterdam because of Descartes and his coordinates, and Vienna. He comes back to Vienna at the end, and in an afterword, which I don't know how available that is. I have it because when this was broadcast in the United States in South Carolina, I think James Burke was interviewed by a man about his work, and I haven't looked deeply, but I'm not certain if those interviews are online. But he said about he was pleased to be able to bring it back to Vienna, which is where he'd started. Maria Theresa's palace. Halley's Comet, you'll hear about that, the invention of the telescope, and this is up there in the, well, he'll be up in the bell tower in Venice. I wanted to say I've traveled to Europe quite a bit and taken students. I've been to Venice, I don't know, maybe 3 times, 4 maybe, and I've been up in that bell tower, and it's a kind of a fond memory of me. I think the first time I ever went up in that bell tower and I looked at Venice, I couldn't believe what I was looking at, that a city would look like that. The bell tower incidentally collapsed at one point, and then it had to be rebuilt. The whole thing in the middle of the night came crashing down. I'm fairly certain. Something I want to say about Amsterdam. In passing, he mentions tolerance. Amsterdam has been been famous for its tolerance and all its refugees that came there, and apparently Descartes was one of them. Now, the question, could the Bible be wrong about anything? That's a basic issue here with Galileo. Could anything in the Bible be wrong? And the Aristotle's theory went with that, and they have to deal with that. That's an issue which has not died at all. I think it's a bigger issue. Oh, I'm sure it's a bigger issue now over the question of Darwin, and Burke is going to come to Darwin. And deal with that there. But here was the church having to wrestle with the idea that maybe not every single exact thing that the Bible said was right. That's a real problem for some. All right, on to his style. I don't want to extend this out. Notice that he says keep things sweet just as he's putting sugar in his coffee, and he says that it was over breakfast and he's having breakfast. His phrase nocturnal note taking. This is alliteration, nocturnal note-taking. When this is pretty subtle, but at a certain point he uses the word handle. And he says it a little stronger than he would have to say it. And I strongly suspect that the music in the soundtrack, there's a trumpet playing, that's the music of Handel. Handel did go to England. This is George Frederick Handel, and a very famous Baroque composer. And I'm fairly sure that's just the kind of thing Burke would do, to slip something like that in there. This phrase, geodeticist and general genius. As I point out so often, he just loves to play with words as he's going along. And then he leaves us with that dreary thought that maybe we're just a cog in a cosmic clock. Well, that idea of a cog, that the universe was like a clock, a big machine, and everything worked like that, that was part of this age of reason. All right, well, it's certainly fairly easy to watch now, this episode. So watch it to the end and enjoy. Bye for now.